The fact that the Patriots have been,
I know.
They started this signing bonus stuff way back. Now, the voidable years and all that, so you got to give credit to Belichick being able to game the system for all those years with Tom Brady taking those pay cuts, which weren't pay cuts. He wasn't getting paid as much as he should. Okay, but he would turn his contract into signing bonuses, and everybody like, look, he's taking less, but actually he's getting his money up front.
Yeah.
It's actually almost a better deal for him. But they've been gaming the system for a long time because Tom Brady would allow them to do such. Now Mac Jones on a rookie contract, so they're still able to do it. How will they be able to do it going forward? I think we'll all be intrigued to see what Bill Belichick does with that once they have to pay Mac Jones. But how come you guys force everybody out whenever you can pay everybody if you wanted to? Robert Kraft has all the money in the world. He owns the entire Foxborough town, basically.
Yeah.
He has a casino. He's got Patriot Place.
Sure.
He's got, obviously, John Bon Jovi's concert revenue in there. I think he's an investor in Fanatics, which is doing very well. He has some paper company, I think, that he came from. Let alone, he has all this money. He would spend the money, would he not?
Absolutely.
So how come Bill Belichick isn't doing this whole game? He's a guy who games the system. Like, why everybody has so much respect. How come it always comes, Stephon Gilmore, get the fuck out of town. We don't want to pay you.
Sure.
J.C. Jackson now, it sounds like, get the fuck out of town. We don't want to pay you. What do you think it is? Do you think that it's just like this is how Bill Belichick operates? Why do you think J.C. Jackson publicly came out and said, obviously they don't care about me? This is a crazy quote.
Insane.
This is an insane quote to hear from J.C. Jackson, Mr. Interception, absolute lockdown stud for the Patriots in Bill Belichick's defense, in which there's no defensive coordinator.
Nope.
Right? Bill Belichick probably pretty hands-on in this particular department. I guess I can't be that important to them. They're not showing me. I don't know how this was taken. I didn't listen to the full interview, but the fact that this came out of his mouth, very interesting. You would think normally like Team 3 would say these types of things like what happens in Russell. But why does this continue to happen, you think, up there in New England, Connor? Salary cap's not real.
No, it's not.
Kraft has all the money in the world. You got a rookie contract. Sure. Why does this continue to happen?
I mean, with JC, we were working on an extension. And when I say we, I mean me, Bill, and all the guys in the Patriots front office. Steve, Gerard Mayo. So during the season, they tried to get it done last year. Obviously, didn't happen. Now, franchise tag starts. On Tuesday, he said to Phil Perry on NBC Sports Boston, like, hey, look, they haven't reached out. I don't know. I guess they don't like me. So it's really not out of context, that quote as a whole. But look, Bill Belichick's at West Bumfuck University right now at some pro day for some D3 guy you've never heard of. Sorry, our head coach is also our GM.
Sorry about it.
Okay, look, he's got multiple jobs. He can't be, concerning himself with a franchise tag, networking, when, he knows, okay, I got to get that done by March 8th. Realistically, just like Rap Sheet said about how the Patriots really take their time in hiring coaches, they really take their time in placing the franchise tag too. J.C. Jackson's going to get the tag next year when the salary cap goes up $20 million more and Mac Jones is still on that rookie contract. Then J.C. will get his big bag.
It's awesome to think about, though, that Bill Belichick's running all this shit. So, like, when other GMs have, like, hey, need you to talk to this guy's agent, kind of let them know where we're at or whatever, Bill Belichick's like, hey, Matt Patricia, we got to get in a bus, South Harmon Institute of Technology. Boom. There's a fucking 3 technique down there that we think we could add to this deep. Let them know we will get, hey, we'll fucking get to you.
Yeah.
And then JC's like, oh, you'll get to me, huh? You got to travel to South Harmon Institute of Technology.
You don't like me,
What's that all about? It's an interesting dynamic. It's a very, very interesting dynamic, but there's only one Bill Belichick. And there's going to be multiple people that are going to try to have that type of role. And I think there's obviously some drawbacks. Those types of drawbacks, though, if you haven't won 6 Super Bowls,
exactly,
going to be tough to get past. For all the players, the agents, everybody. Hey, fuck you. That's why whenever everybody comes from the Belichick tree and they try to do the same thing, it's like, you don't have the resume, to do what this guy did. And in 2022, it's really hard for people to continue to be like, you know what, you're right, you're a fucking asshole, we're losing, I'm going to continue to do this. It's hard. It's hard to continue to do that in the world that we're in.
Michael, why do you think Bill Belichick hasn't reached out to J.C. Jackson? What pro day at the Division 3 or 2 school is he currently at? And do you see them franchise tagging him and then getting a deal done later on?
Well, I think you're assuming they haven't. I mean, look, I'm sure at this point, everybody knows what J.C. Jackson wants. And so if you're an executive in the league, you kind of have an idea. If you're the Green Bay Packers, you know what Devontae Adams is asking for, right? You know what J.C. Jackson, if you're the Patriots, is asking for. You're not going to meet that price because you sit there and say, look, I'll just franchise him for a year and we'll go from there. Like, that's it. That's where you get to. What's the point of engaging? when all you're going to do is you can't even come to an agreement that you're in agreement that you want to have a conversation. So it's like you're wasting your time. I'll just franchise him and move on. That's my approach. I think that's what's happening up in New England. I think that's what's happening with Davante Adams. I mean, they know he wants to make over $20 million a year. What's their answer to that? Well, that's probably $6 million more, $4 million more than the next receiver. You know, we'll just franchise you. We'll go on. And
yeah,
look,
but Lombo, with the voided year contract thing, a 15, what is it, 17? What is the
tag?
The tag for a wide receiver, 16?
For wide receiver, it's higher. I think it's 19.
So, like, instead of getting that mandatory on the books for next year, wouldn't it be smarter for Davante to get one of those 4-year kick the can down the road almost deals? Don't you think?
I think so, and I think ultimately they'll probably go to his agent and say, look, we're going to franchise you. Here's the deal we would give you in lieu of that, and try to get some sense of it, bringing it back to a number. And I'm sure that's what but there's no sense in trying to do a deal now when the league year is so far away, because nobody's going to say, okay, let's do that. They think they're going to get more money. Yeah, and everybody is saying on that conversation, look, my market is, now, you know, nobody's supposed to tamper, but we all know that's not true. But my market is going to be somewhere here, right? You know, my market's going to be somewhere. I'm hearing I'm going to get this. I'm hearing nobody's going to ever. They all have plausible deniability, but you're negotiating against a ghost. So what's the sense of negotiating?
Mr. Kim, I love that one. That's one of my, I got to go run it by the board. You know what I mean? I'll go run it by the board. I'll come back. There's no board. I am the board, but I'll blame the board. Blame the ghost is definitely a move. It's $18 million for the franchise tag, by the way. So $18 million is the franchise tag for wide receivers.